Let's take a moment, just the two of us. I'd like you to sit comfortably, breathe in gently, and really listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a quiet morning, maybe sitting by the window with a cup of tea or listening to the birds outside, when a little question suddenly crosses your mind? What's ahead for me 10 years from now? It's a tender question, isn't it? Sometimes it creeps in when we least expect it. Other times it arrives after a doctor's visit, a friend's passing, or when we feel a little more tired than usual. At 65 or 70 or even beyond, the future can feel like a closed chapter, as though everything worth changing has already been written. But I'm here to tell you, with warmth and honesty, that your story is far from over. In fact, research today shows that the choices you make in your 60s, 70s, and even 80s can drastically influence how healthy, joyful, and independent your life will be in the years to come. Your health future isn't just about fate or genetics or the calendar on the wall. It's about what you do. Starting today, let me share something that stayed with me. There's a lovely couple I met last year, Paul and Irene, both 72. They've lived in the same neighborhood for decades, even attended the same community church. 5 years ago, they were nearly identical in terms of their health. Both had a little joint pain, mild blood pressure issues, and were told by their doctors to stay active. But now, they live almost completely different lives. Irene walks daily with her dog. She helps in the kitchen at her local food bank. She plays board games with her grandchildren and still sings in her church choir. Her energy, her glow, it's unmistakable. Paul, on the other hand, spends most of his time in front of the TV. He's had 2 hospital visits for complications with his heart. He struggles with stairs, avoids social gatherings, and often feels anxious and alone. What changed? It wasn't some major surgery. It wasn't a miracle. It was small, consistent decisions that Irene made. Choices to move, eat well, stay connected, and engage with life. And that, my friend, is the heart of today's message. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 scientifically proven things, not just suggestions but actual habits backed by years of solid research that can protect and even improve your health future after 65. Whether you're already active and thriving, or you're just beginning to look after yourself more seriously, these steps can make a real, lasting difference. So settle in. Maybe you're watching this during a peaceful moment in the afternoon, or while resting after lunch. Wherever you are, I invite you to take this time for yourself. You're not done growing. You're not done living. And your body, your precious, resilient body, still wants to thrive. Let's begin this journey together. Let's begin our journey with the foundation of lasting health after 65. Movement. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about training for a marathon or lifting heavy weights at the gym. This is about gentle, regular, intentional movement, the kind that keeps your joints supple, your heart strong, and your spirit uplifted. Many people believe that as we age, we're supposed to slow down. And yes, our pace might naturally change, but stopping altogether? That's when the real problems begin. There's a powerful piece of research from the National Institute on Aging. It followed over 3,000 older adults for more than a decade and found that even light daily movement, like slow walking, house chores, or stretching, reduced the risk of heart disease, dementia, and even early mortality by over 40%. That's almost half the risk, just by choosing to move. Movement is like a quiet medicine. You don't always feel its power right away, but over time, it heals you. It keeps your blood flowing, your bones strong, and your mind clear. Let me introduce you to someone who understands this deeply. Janet, age 68. Janet lost her husband 3 years ago. After the funeral, the world around her grew very quiet. She found herself sitting for long hours in her living room, watching television, reading the same pages of a book over and over, not because she didn't care, but because she felt stuck. Her joints began to ache more, her sleep grew restless, and slowly her confidence slipped away. I started to feel like an old chair in the corner, she told me, just there. Then, one Sunday morning, she heard her doctor's voice in her mind. Just 10 minutes of movement a day can change everything. So she stood up. She walked in place for 10 minutes. That's it, just 10 minutes. The next day, she did it again. The following week, she added 5 more. Eventually, she began walking outside, just to the mailbox and back, then around the block. She waved at neighbors, smiled at the sun. Today, Janet attends a gentle Tai Chi class at her local senior center twice a week. Her sleep has improved. Her knees don't hurt as much, and she laughs again. Moving made me feel like I belong in my body again, she says. That's the gift I want for you too. And please, don't worry if walking isn't possible right now. There are always ways to move. Chair yoga, arm stretches while seated, breathing deeply while rolling your shoulders, even lifting soup cans as hand weights in the kitchen. Your body isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you not to forget it, to use it lovingly, gently, consistently. You may be surprised, not just by how your strength returns, but how your mood lifts, how you sleep more soundly, how you feel more alive. So here's my gentle challenge. Set aside 10 minutes today. Move in a way that feels right for you, whatever that looks like, not to impress anyone, just to remind yourself that you still can. Because movement isn't just good for your body, it's a beautiful message to your soul. I'm still here, and I'm still going. Let's talk about something we often take for granted: food. Now, I know that over the years, the way we eat changes. Our appetite might slow down. Our digestion isn't quite what it used to be. Some of us lose interest in cooking, especially if we live alone. But here's the truth. Your body still needs to be nourished, thoughtfully and consistently. After 65, the right nutrition doesn't just keep you going, it helps you thrive. It sharpens your memory, boosts your energy, strengthens your bones, and protects your immune system. And the good news is, you don't need a complicated diet or exotic ingredients, just a few smart, kind choices. Let me tell you about Alice. Alice is 74. She lives in a small apartment and had fallen into the habit of skipping meals. It just didn't seem worth the effort, she said. She would snack on crackers or have toast for dinner. Nothing sounded appealing. But slowly, her energy dropped. She started feeling dizzy during walks and caught colds more often. After a visit to her doctor, she learned she was missing key nutrients, especially protein, fiber, and essential vitamins. But what made the biggest difference wasn't just a lecture from a professional, it was her granddaughter, Lily. Lily, just 19, started bringing over small containers of food she had cooked at home. Simple things: lentil soup, grilled chicken, oatmeal with berries. They weren't fancy, but they were colorful, warm, and full of love. Alice began eating better, not just because the food was healthy, but because it felt like someone cared. Now, Alice has found a rhythm. She prepares simple meals a few times a week. She keeps Greek yogurt, hard-boiled eggs, and bananas on hand. She even started drinking more water, something she'd neglected for years. And you know what? Her strength has returned. Her skin looks brighter, and, most importantly, she feels capable again. Here's what nutrition after 65 can look like for you. Protein, your muscles need it to stay strong. Eggs, beans, lentils, fish, chicken, nuts, all excellent manageable options. Fiber, it supports digestion and heart health. Think fruits, vegetables, oats, and whole grains. Calcium and vitamin D, crucial for bone strength. Low-fat dairy, leafy greens, or a supplement if recommended by your doctor. Hydration, sip water throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. Dehydration is a silent culprit for fatigue and confusion. Smaller, balanced meals. You don't need to eat a feast. Just make your plate colorful, with a little protein, a little fiber, and some healthy fat. And remember, eating is not just about nutrients, it's about connection, comfort, and joy. So whether you live with family or alone, find ways to make meals feel meaningful. Light a candle at dinner, eat near a window, call a friend while you eat. Food is not a chore, it's a gift, a reminder that you are alive and worth taking care of. Your body still needs fuel, not just any fuel, loving fuel, because when you eat well, you give yourself strength, not just for today, but for many healthy tomorrows. Connection, the healing power of relationships. Let's now talk about something that isn't always visible in a medical chart, but has a profound effect on your health. Human connection. It might surprise you to know that loneliness is now considered as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not an exaggeration. That's a finding from research published by the US Surgeon General and confirmed by dozens of international studies. You see, after 65, many of us face changes. Retirement, children moving away, friends passing on, or simply feeling like the world has become a little quieter. But isolation doesn't just affect your mood, it affects your entire body, your heart, your brain, your immune system. And perhaps more than anything, it affects your sense of purpose. But here's the beautiful truth. It doesn't take dozens of friends or crowded rooms to stay connected. Even one warm relationship, one true, meaningful bond, can light up your life like the sun through a window. Let me tell you about Mr. Rahim, an 81-year-old man I met at a community wellness program. For years after his wife passed, he barely spoke to anyone. His children had busy lives in other cities, and he didn't want to bother them. He stopped going to the local mosque. He didn't attend family events. Slowly, his health began to fade. He became more forgetful, lost interest in eating, and his legs grew weak from inactivity. Then one day, his neighbor's 10-year-old grandson, Ali, saw him sitting alone on the porch and asked if he'd ever flown a kite. Mr. Rahim chuckled and said, "When I was your age, I made my own." That little moment turned into something beautiful. Every week, Ali would come over to talk. They'd read together, drink tea, even build small crafts. Mr. Rahim began smiling again. His doctor noticed he was more alert, his appetite returned, and, most importantly, so did his will to live. Human connection is medicine for the soul and body alike. It doesn't matter whether you're naturally outgoing or more reserved. What matters is making space, even a little, for other people in your life. Call someone you love, even for just 5 minutes. A warm voice can change your entire day. Join a group, a walking club, a faith gathering, a book circle. It's not about being social, it's about being seen. Volunteer even once a month. Helping others gives you a sense of value that nothing else can replace. Write letters to old friends, siblings, or even yourself. Putting your thoughts into words builds emotional clarity and connection. And don't ever feel embarrassed for needing people. That need doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. You were never meant to walk through life alone. Not at 25, and certainly not now. So, if there's someone you've been meaning to reach out to, do it. If there's a neighbor you see from your window, wave. Smile. Say hello. A healthy future isn't just about your muscles and bones. It's about your heart. And not just the one that beats in your chest, but the one that feels. Rest and renewal. Why sleep and stillness are essential now. Let's talk about something that often slips through the cracks in conversations about health. Rest. Not just sleep, but true rest. The kind that restores your body, settles your mind, and renews your spirit. After 65, your relationship with sleep may start to shift. Many older adults tell me, I fall asleep quickly, but I wake up at 3 a.m. and can't get back to sleep. Or, I feel tired all day, even after a full night's sleep. Sound familiar? Here's what science tells us. Restful sleep isn't a luxury. It's a requirement for maintaining brain health, immune strength, emotional stability, and even balance and coordination. According to a major study from the University of California, adults over 65 who sleep fewer than 6 hours regularly are at a much higher risk of cognitive decline and falls. But here's the good news. Improving sleep and daily rest is very possible. And it starts not with pills, but with rhythm, light, and kindness toward your own body. Let me share a story about Thomas, age 77. Thomas was always a night owl, even in his younger years. But now, staying up late scrolling through his phone or watching television left him foggy and anxious by morning. He would nap during the day, wake up at odd hours, and feel like his body was never really on. Eventually, at the advice of his doctor, he made a few gentle changes. He began going outside each morning for 10 minutes, just to sit in the sun and breathe. That little exposure to daylight helped reset his internal clock. He set a regular bedtime and started drinking chamomile tea in the evening instead of coffee. He turned off screens an hour before sleep and listened to soft music or read a book instead. Within a few weeks, everything started to shift. He woke up feeling clearer. He had more patience with his grandchildren. He even stopped needing his afternoon nap. Sleep, he told me, feels like it's giving me back pieces of myself. It's important to remember that rest is not laziness. It's not weakness. It's medicine, just like movement and nutrition. And rest doesn't only mean sleep. Stillness, quiet moments in your day is equally vital. Whether it's 5 minutes of deep breathing, sitting under a tree, or listening to the sound of rain, these moments slow your heart rate, lower blood pressure, and calm the nervous system. Here are some gentle habits to invite more rest into your life. Create a bedtime ritual. Warm tea, soft lights, maybe a prayer or journal entry. Keep electronics out of the bedroom. Let your mind ease into stillness. Avoid caffeine in the afternoon. Try herbal teas or warm milk instead. Practice gratitude before sleep. Name 3 things you're thankful for. It relaxes the mind. Nap wisely. If needed, keep naps short. 20-30 minutes. And early in the afternoon. Rest is not just a pause, it's a practice, a gift. a signal to your body and soul that they are safe and that they deserve peace. You've carried so much in your life for your family, your community, and your work. Now is the time to carry yourself gently, because when you sleep well and when you rest with intention, you're not giving up time. You're making it more joyful, more focused, and more deeply alive. A gentle future. Your health is still in your hands. So here we are, dear friend. We've talked about movement, nourishment, connection, and rest. 4 powerful tools that can shape your health and well-being after 65. But there's one more thing I want to leave you with, and it might just be the most important of all. The belief that your future is still yours to shape. There's a quiet message that society sometimes sends to older adults, that once you reach a certain age, your best years are behind you, that change is too hard, that your story is already written. But that's simply not true. You are not a finished book. You are a living, breathing chapter, and every single day you wake up, you have the power to write something new. Take Paul, for example. Paul is 70, retired, and had been struggling with feelings of uselessness. "I feel invisible," he once told a friend, "like I'm just here to pass time." But one afternoon, sitting at a bus stop, he noticed a young man struggling to read a letter. Paul offered to help. The young man smiled with relief. He had trouble with reading and needed to fill out a job application. Paul helped him through it. They shook hands, and something shifted. That small moment lit a fire in Paul. He began volunteering twice a week at a community literacy center. Now he helps others read, write, and believe in themselves. And in doing so, he rediscovered something vital. He still has something to give, and so do you. Maybe your gift is your wisdom or your patience. Maybe it's your storytelling, your baking, your ability to truly listen. Maybe it's your presence, steady, warm, comforting to those around you. Your health journey after 65 is not about perfection, it's about direction. Every choice you make, every step, every stretch, every kind word, every home-cooked meal, every deep breath adds up, not in a loud flashy way, but in the quiet building of resilience. Your body might move a little slower, your hands may have more lines, but your heart, your mind, your spirit, they're alive and they are enough. So here's what I'd love for you to remember. You are not too old to improve. You are not too late to begin. You are not invisible. You are needed. You are worthy of care. From others, yes, but most importantly from yourself. And now, I gently ask, what's one small thing you can do today to honor your health? Maybe it's a walk, a healthy meal, a phone call, or simply choosing to rest without guilt. Whatever it is, do it with love, because your future isn't something waiting far ahead. It's something you're living into right now. If this message spoke to you, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What small change have you made or would like to make to care for yourself today? And if you found value in this video, please consider subscribing to The Elder Voice. This space is for you, to be supported, informed, and reminded that your journey matters. Until next time, be well, stay kind to yourself, and remember, the best investment you can make is in you.